Welcome back to the Pro Sports Podcasters on YouTube. My name is Colbert Laurent, and today I'm going to ask a quick question of all of you, and that's, do you play fantasy football? Do you consider yourself good at fantasy football? Are you that guy that everyone else is trying to beat in your casual league? Or do you play DFS and money leagues when it comes to fantasy? Do you know who's injured, who's not? Do you check the injury reports every Sunday morning just in case you got to make a last-minute roster change? Because if you do, and that's you, then you need to be getting into NFL all day to be a part of the OTM Rumble fantasy football system. And on this video, I'm going to explain why. NFL All Day is the NFL NFT created by Dapper Labs in coordination with the NFL. And what it essentially is are digital playing cards, basically. Although instead of just being images, they're actual moments from the 2021 season. And they also carry a number of historical moments, great moments from some of the best players ever in the NFL in history. But what we're looking at are the current moments. So this is specifically Series 1 2021 moments. And it has the majority of NFL stars that are currently playing. There are a few missing still, but we have two more sets to be released before the start of the season. That's Rewind Pack 2 and Rewind Pack 3. And they will have moments from players who were present in the NFL last year. So rookies will not be included. We're going to see the rookies from this year probably happen in Series 2 sometime during the season. But the reason I say fantasy football fans should really get into NFL All Day and be a part of this Own the Moment Rumble fantasy football variant utilizing those moments is because you have a significant advantage over the majority of the community. A lot of people who collect NFL All Day are basically NFT collectors. Okay, these are not NFL football fans. These are not traditional fantasy football players. The vast majority are just NFT collectors. These are investors looking to capitalize on the fact that NFTs are a big thing right now. It's a new market to get into. And the NFL is such an established commodity that these particular moments and these particular NFTs should succeed. And that's why I got into it. Not to mention, I'm huge into fantasy football. And from day one, I was hoping some form of fantasy football utilizing these moments would occur, and it has. Now, what sets this apart from traditional daily fantasy football or a fantasy football league is you've got certain advantages here in that you're not limited to who you can run. Okay? It's not like some DFS leagues that have a point threshold on each player and there's only so many points you can spend. You can roster whoever you want. It's not like a traditional fantasy football league where it runs the entire season. That's not the case. You get to change your roster every single week. So it's more similar to daily fantasy football when it comes right down to it. And as much as I love season-long fantasy football, I'm a big fan of it. I've been running a season-long league for decades now. You do sometimes get burned. I got burned last season. Okay, last season, two of my picks were Raheem Mostert and Gus Edwards. Tells you how my season went. I was really weak at running back, and when any of my top-tier running backs went down or were out of the rotation due to bye weeks, I was in trouble. And that was really my season was over before it began practically. And that's how things go sometimes. I don't have to worry about that here. But here's the real beauty of it. Unlike just regular fantasy football where the end result is everything, that isn't the case. Because you're actually purchasing a collection of NFL All Day NFTs, you're going to get the value back from those particular moments that you own. And fantasy football, especially OTM Rumble, will have a direct effect on the value of some of your moments. For instance, in a previous video, I talked about some of the more budget rares you could purchase to fill out your Own the Moment Rumble hero spot, right? If you want to find out more about Own the Moment Rumble, I'll put a link in the description that can take you right to their website and show you all the rules that they follow. It's pretty much traditional PPR, but there is this additional twitch to it where you get to designate one specific player as a hero player and you get an additional 25% bonus on their fantasy points. And that hero player has to be a rare or legendary NFT from NFL All Day. Now, when I discussed those budget options, one of them was Kirk Cousins. And currently Kirk Cousins is $70 in the marketplace. So let's say you own a couple Kirk Cousins and week 1, he goes off, right? Week 1, he throws for over 400 yards. He throws 2 touchdowns and runs one in himself. He just goes off. Immediately, everybody involved in not just OTM Rumble or fantasy football, but collectors on NFL All Day in general are going to notice that, wow, Kirk Cousins is on fire. He got off to a great start. He's thriving in this new offense. People are going to want to buy that moment. They don't have it yet. They're going to want to get it. And the reaction will be the price will go up. And it could go up 20%. So from $70 to $84. And if you happen to have a couple, maybe you keep one, but you've got the option of selling the other and turning a profit right then and there. So if you are well versed in fantasy football and you understand matchups and you can see where specific players may have huge games as a result of who they're against, you have the opportunity to be proactive and buy a couple of moments that you think will be affected by the end result of those games. And as the season is going on, you could be making money on the side, not to mention you're also building your collection of NFL All Day's NFTs and earning more money that way. It's like a multi-tiered system of winning at fantasy football. And those of you that are great at fantasy football are going to get the greatest returns from it. I haven't even mentioned the fact that you can win at OTM Rumble, which costs you nothing but owning these moments, right? There is no entry fee, and you will win money for placing high in those weekly events, right? You earn Dapper credit, which is basically cash. So if you know fantasy football and you see football as an investment and you can play the market a little bit just by understanding what players are most likely to succeed in what weeks, you're going to win at OTM Rumble, you're going to win NFL All Day, and you're going to love being a part of this community. Now, you might be thinking, what's this going to cost me? Cobe, do I have to break the bank in order to get in on this? It's not really the case. Now, if you want to set yourself up with a potentially winning lineup, then maybe it's going to cost you $500 to put together a real solid lineup. But you don't have to start there. That's what I'm trying to say. If you understand fantasy football, if you understand matchups, if you can see where opportunities are, then you can make money the first few weeks and then get involved as a participant later on in the season. For example, we've got Miles Sanders. Now, Miles Sanders, running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, by far the starting running back for the Philadelphia Eagles, has a very easy schedule the first 5 weeks of the season. In the first 5 weeks of the season, he's going to face the Lions, the Commanders, the Dolphins, and the Jaguars. The only difficult defensive matchup he has is the Vikings, and who knows, with the addition of A.J. Brown, you got A.J. Brown on one side, Devontae Smith on the other side, you've got Dallas Goedert in the middle. Like, it's possible that Miles Sanders can find running room against pretty much anybody. But he's got 4 easy defenses to deal with in the first 5 weeks. And right now, there's only one moment available on the NFL All Day marketplace with Miles Sanders, and it's a common. It's a currently $8 common. So you could take $100 and buy 12 of them, right? Buy 12 Miles Sanders moments with your $100 and just wait for one of those early weeks to hit. And trust me, that being the only moment available, it's going to go up significantly. I've already seen some of these moments double, triple, quadruple when certain challenges come up. And that's something I haven't even discussed yet. On top of the fact that you've got the OTM Rumble going, you also have Dapper Labs NFL All Day's own challenges. And these are random from week to week, but in some cases, they could be the most touchdowns. They could be the most rushing yards or the most scrimmage yards. And it's possible that Miles Sanders could factor into any one of those in the first 5 weeks of the season. If he does, not only is he going to have a significant fantasy week, but he's also going to be involved in an NFL All Day Dapper Labs challenge, which rewards you for having all of the parameters met. Let's say it's rushing yards and it's the top 5 rushers from week 4. And Miles Sanders is one of them. Trust me, he'll go from $8 to $38. That's how important that moment will become, because if you get all 5 assembled, you're going to get some major reward from Dapper Labs. Could be a rare pack, could be a limited edition moment from a specific star player. There's a number of things it could be, but it's going to ramp up the value of that moment. And if you happen to own 12 of them, you're going to cash in, right? You are going to cash in. Let's just say it triples. Goes from 8 to 24, and you've got 12. You sell them off, and you assemble your first full OTM Rumble roster for the following week. And if you see some opportunities in that particular week, maybe you double up on a couple of specific moments to then sell those. And this is how you can build your bank as the season continues. Like I said, it doesn't cost a lot to get involved, but if you want to be involved from the very beginning, sure, it's going to cost you some. But don't look at it like it's throwing away money, because every single moment you purchase has value. Every single moment you purchase is a collectible. Every single moment you purchase can be involved in a challenge which doubles or triples its value. Can be the difference between winning or losing on OTM Rumble. Could end up being a very important moment down the line depending on what sets are required or what specific subsets are required, because there is so much that goes into this. And if you're really interested, check out some of my previous videos on this channel, because I've said a lot about NFL all day. I'm amped about NFL all day. It's not the only sports NFT that I collect. I have a little bit of NBA Top Shot, but that market's been just too volatile lately. I have a fair amount of UFC Strike. Nothing really special has happened with UFC Strike yet, except that it is a good collectible and it is an active community and they keep putting out more and more. So it's at least thriving to a limited extent right now, but I still want to be a part of that community because I'm a big UFC guy, big MMA guy. Anybody who actually listens to our podcast, www.prosportspodcasters.com, you can find a podcast link there, but we're on every single podcast application. We'll know that we talk to a lot of MMA fighters. We have both UFC and Bellator access, so I'm big into that. But NFL is the one that I love the most. I love fantasy football. I love everything that NFL Day has to offer. And this first season is going to be ridiculous. Okay, what you're getting the moments for now is a gift in comparison to what they will be later. And that's why I'm trying to tell everybody who's big into fantasy football to get involved now. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't see it happening and be like, oh man, I should get in on that. It looks like a blast, and realize it's going to cost you now an arm and a leg. And the real value and opportunity to make significant coin off the bat is gone. Get in now before the season begins. Get in now before the next 2 drops happen, because you've got a chance. If you get in now and you purchase Rewind 2 or Rewind 3 to hit like a really valuable rare or a super valuable legendary that's going to bankroll you for the entire season. So now's the time. And that's why I put out this video. I don't want anyone to miss out. And I want to stress again, those of you looking for whitelist spots for the Jolly Jokers platform, we sent out the most recent newsletter with the information on how to get a whitelist spot. I know a number of you are already kind of in line. There's only so many we have to give out. So if you're not sure about how to get a whitelist spot, definitely go on to www.prosportspodcasters.com. Scroll to the bottom of the main page. There's a spot to sign up to become a PSP Insider. Once you've signed up, send us an email saying you're interested in a whitelist spot, and we can go over what's required to get one. There's no cost to you, none whatsoever. We just need the information to pass on to Own the Moment so that they can properly give it to you. Till next time.